Welcome back to Ride Beyond. The 1980 Pontiac Trans Am Turbo 4.9L. A car that represents the last hurrah of a golden era, and a bold attempt at innovation during a time when muscle was beginning to fade due to rising fuel economy standards and emissions regulations. From the outside, the 1980 Trans Am kept its aggressive attitude alive. It had a low, wide stance, sharp body lines, and that unmistakable beak-like nose with pop-up headlights that were still all the rage back then. The shaker hood scoop, this time labeled Turbo 4.9, added a new twist, hinting at what was happening under the hood. And let's not forget that fire-breathing bird decal covering most of the hood, a visual signature that made this car a legend. This Trans Am stood out then, and it still draws looks today. Even though the late 70s and early 80s were a challenging time for performance cars, Pontiac found a creative way to keep the flame alive. Instead of relying on the traditional big blocks, they introduced something different, a turbocharged 4.9-liter V8 engine. It was Pontiac's answer to declining horsepower figures while still trying to deliver muscle car excitement. The 4.9L V8 was fitted with a Garrett turbocharger, delivering around 210 horsepower and 345 lb-ft of torque, numbers that may not sound crazy today, but back then, it made this car one of the strongest performers still on the road. The engine was mated to a 3-speed automatic transmission. No manual option was offered with the turbo model, and while that might seem like a drawback to some, the combo actually worked well. It made the most of the low-end torque, giving you a solid launch off the line and a smooth highway cruise. The suspension was tuned more for touring than tight cornering, but with the WS6 package, you got upgraded sway bars, performance tires, and tighter steering, adding a surprising amount of agility for a car of its size and weight. Pricing for a 1980 Trans Am Turbo today can vary widely depending on condition, mileage, and originality. A clean, numbers-matching example with low miles and T-tops can easily fetch between $25,000 and $45,000 at auction. Rare options or special editions like the Indy 500 Pace Car Edition can push that number even higher. But what you're really paying for is the nostalgia, the raw personality, the sound, and the looks that make people stop and smile. Thanks for watching.